What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another video today, and in this video I have my full collection video for December 2022 that consists of nearly 300 1 to 400 scale and 1 to 200 scale die-cast airplane models from Gemini jets, NG models, Aeroclassics, and more. So I have this collection laid out here on a couple of different fold-up tables. So this is one of the fold-up tables that I have them set up on currently. Let me pan over to the other one here. And this is the second fold-up table that I have it on. Most of these are just all the wide bodies and stuff, just some miscellaneous stuff. And obviously my new arrivals that came in from Christmas, or at least a portion of them. These are all my retro FSD models that I got for Christmas. So with that out of the way, we'll go ahead and move back over to this first shelf. And obviously the reason why I have them laid out here is because I had my shelf, or my cabinet rather, recently rearranged. And you will see here that this new shelf was the addition that was made to the cabinet here. So now I have a total of 6 shelves, and after I film this collection video, the models will come back into the shelf, and this is where they will reside for the rest of time, at least until either A, something goes wrong with this cabinet, or B, I get a new cabinet to put all my models in. So again, this is just your standard cabinet with the closing doors and all that, and all the extra fun little details here at the bottom as well. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with the collection video. And just be aware that the collection video may not fully reflect on my entire collection, as I will have additional models coming as I record this, and by the time that this video comes out, I will have additional models in my collection. So starting off here with the Uniteds, we have the United 757-200 in the Hurrah New York, New Jersey, and we also have a regular livery 752. Both of these are NG. Gemini jets, United 737 MAX 9. NG models, United 737-900 Evo Blue, a Gemini United 737 MAX 8, and my headphone cable here is going to get wrapped around these models, so I apologize if there are awkward transitions to some models. NG models, United 737-800 Continental Globe, and we also have the Gemini Evo Blue. United A320 Stars and Bars Retro Livery, A319 Evo Blue, and 737-700 Evo Blue. And now as we move on to the American stuff, we got a lot more cool planes over here, so let's go and take a look at them all. American A321neo by Gemini Jets and a regular A321 CFM Gemini. 737 MAX 8 by Gemini. 737-800 with logo winglets by NG. A320 IAE by Gemini. A319 CFM by Gemini. And then my one Breeze model up here, this is the A220-300 by Gemini Jets. And then we'll pop over here. Sun Country 737-800 Time Pod livery with splits by Panda Models. Now into my Delta collection, we have the 757-300, 757-200, both of these are Gemini. A321 Thank You livery by NG, and we also have the A321 second release by Gemini Jets, 737-900 by Gemini Jets, 737-800 by Gemini Jets, this one got tipped over here, A320 by Aeroclassics, A220-100 by Gemini Jets, first release. A319 by Aeroclassics. 717-200 by Gemini Jets. 737-800 SkyTeam livery by NG Models. And then we'll move on to the Spirit section here for the collection. Right here we have the A321 by NG, A320neo by Gemini Jets, and an A319 Grayscale by Aeroclassics. And then my Allegiance, we have an A320 Sharklets by Gemini, A319 Sharklets by Gemini, and Fence Tips by Gemini. So all my Allegiants are Gemini at this point. And then Alaska, just 2 of them over here. The rest of them are elsewhere. 737-900 ER, blended winglets in the old livery by Gemini, and a 737-800 by Gemini. Thought that model was tipped over there, so that's why I had to give it a quick little tap there. Moving on, we have my Southwest collection. All of these are state liveries. Got Arizona 1, Missouri 1, Maryland 1, Lone Star 1, California 1, Illinois 1, Florida 1, Tennessee 1, Colorado 1, New Mexico 1, and then eventually the Desert Gold Retro, Canyon Blue 700, Heart 700 blended. My splits actually broke. Kind of an interesting situation with that. Max 8 by Gemini, and an 800 Canyon Blue by Gemini. 800 Freedom 1 by NG, and then an 800 Heart Livery by NG. And then my Lone Jet Blue on this table here. We have the A321neo Streamer's Tail by Gemini Jets. My other Breeze model in the collection, the Embraer 195 by Gemini. My RJ900 collection, we do have the Mesa, American Eagle, and Delta. Adjusting my position so it's a little easier on me. Embraer 175 is up next. We have the Alaska, This is the 2022 release. American Eagle, 2022 release. And then that one back over here is the Alaska Honoring Those Who Serve 175. United Express number 175. American Eagle 170 and United Express 170 by Herpa. Delta Connection 170 by Gemini. United Express CRJ 550 by Gemini. American Eagle RJ 700 by Gemini, 2022 release. Delta CRJ 700, first release by Gemini. SkyWest CRJ 700 by Gemini. And back over here you can see my collection of 1 to 350 scale torpedo bomber aircraft. And then we have some of my prop stuff over here. Right over here we have the Alaska Q400 Horizon Retro livery by Gemini. ATR 72 a FedEx feeder by Gemini. And then a couple Embraer 145s here. We got an American Eagle, both in the current livery. This is the 2021 release, and the old livery, 2017-ish release by Gemini Jets. And a JSX Embraer 145 by Gemini Jets. Air Canada CRJ 200 in the toothpaste livery by Gemini Jets. And then a pair of United Express RJ2s, Continental Globe, and Evo Blue livery. Delta Connection CRJ 200 by Gemini Jets, and a WestJet Saab 340. And then we have a few Electras over here as well. We have an Eastern, American, and a Braniff. All of these are Gemini. Republic Convair 580 and a Frontier Convair 580. Both are Gemini. And a Delta Connection ASA ATR 72 by Gemini. And then moving on over here, we have a US Air BAE 146 by Gemini. American Eagle CRJ 200 current livery, Gemini Jets. United Express CRJ 200 Battleship grade livery by Gemini Jets. Delta Connection Comair CRJ 100 by Gemini Jets. Northwest Airlink Pinnacle CRJ 200 by Gemini Jets. Ozark F-27 by Aeroclassics. United Express Dash A200 by Gemini Jets. And United and Eastern DC-3. Left is Gemini, right is Aeroclassics. Right here we have my North Central DC-950. This is my only SMA model in my collection, Seattle model aircraft. My only 1 to 200 model, the Delta Connection CRJ 900. Then we have my cargo fleet right here, FedEx 767-300, A300, and 757. This one is a Gemini, this one is an Aeroclassics, this one is an NG. And trying to keep my headphone cord, preventing that from wrapping around models and knocking stuff off. My UPS fleet, we have a 757, A300, and 767. The 757 is Gemini, A300 is Aeroclassics, and the 767 is a Gemini. Royal Air Force C-130 by Gemini Max, KC-135 Mildenhall by Gemini Jets. Pair of Stratocruisers here, a United and a Northwest. This one is a Dragon Wings, that one is an Aeroclassics. Right over here, I'll just kind of pan over here so it's a little easier for me. C-32A 2009 release by Gemini. U.S. Navy C-40A Clipper by Gemini. Janet 737-600 Panda models. Blue Angels New Fat Albert C-130. And a TWA DC-930 by Aeroclassics. Moving on over, we have the TWA 717-200 by Gemini Jets. Alaska 727-100 Prospector Tail Gemini Jets. Sorry about that. Delta DC-6 by Gemini Jets. Continental MD-80 and Delta MD-88, both are Gemini Jets. This one right here is the American 757 jet flagship. Can't really see that all that well. US Airways 757-200 by Gemini. American 757-200 with winglets, first released by Gemini Jets. America West 757-200 Gemini. Northwest, TWA, and Eastern 752, all three of these are Gemini Jets. ATA 757-300, this is by Gemini Jets. Eastern DC-930 by Gemini Jets, and an Everett's Air Cargo DC-6 by Gemini Jets. British Airways Concorde and a Volaris A321neo, both of these are Gemini. The Volaris is actually a scratch and dent with an issue on the nose gear. Can't really see it all that well from here. Try to zoom back out. Got a couple models on stands. All of these are Dragon Wings. We have a Royal Canadian Air Force CC-150, A310, TWA Hybrid 717, Reno Air MD-80, American TWA Hybrid MD-80, and a B-1 Lancer from Ellsworth. Then we have a DHL DC-870 and a UPS DC-870. Both of these are Gemini. And then a Delta 767-200, of which is made by Aeroclassics. Coming on down towards the end of this table here, we have an Eastern 727-200 in the Whisperjet livery by Gemini. United 727-200 Battleship grade livery by Gemini. American and Allegiant MD-80, both of these are Gemini Jets. Northwest A320 and A319, left is a Gemini, right is an Aeroclassics. And we have an A320 Northwest Bowling Shoe livery by Gemini Jets. This one right here is a Northwest DC-950 by Aeroclassics. And this tail heavy sitter is a United 737-300 Sail Bass livery by Gemini Jets. And then just another random military model here. We have a United States Air Force C-5 Galaxy, Super Galaxy, from Travis Air Force Base. And then an Amerijet 767-300 with winglets by Gemini Jets. Air Force One by Gemini Jets. Delta 767-300 by Gemini Jets. United 747 SP Solbass livery by NG. USAF B-52 Stratofortress by Gemini Jets, Barksdale. United 777-200 Evo Blue, or not Evo Blue, sorry, Continental Globe livery by Gemini Jets. Air China A350-900 by Phoenix. Airbus A330-800 Neo House livery by Phoenix. Eastern 747-100 in the Pan Am Hybrid livery by Gemini Jets. And an A300B House livery by Phoenix. Last of the heavies here, we have a National A330-200 by NG. United 747-400 by Gemini Jets. This is the Solbass livery. Excuse me. KLM A330-300 with the 100th anniversary sticker by Phoenix. Lufthansa 747-8I retro livery by Gemini Jets. British Airways 787-10 Dreamliner rather by Gemini Jets. And then our last few models here, we have an American DC-3 by Greenbox. This is Flagship Detroit. And this one is a bit of a tail sitter there. National L188 Electra by Gemini Jets. Aer Lingus A330-300 and Eastern 767-300. Both of these are Gemini Jets. And then here's my Shapeways collection. This one got twisted around here by my headphone cable, so apologies. CRJ-900s, Gulfstreams, Cessna 750 Citation X's, Bombardier Challenger 350, Beechcraft King Air, Super King Air 350, so Cessna 404s, and some Cessna 172 Skyhawks. That is everything on this first table. Let's move on to the other table. Moving on here, we have a Delta 767-300 in the Ron Allen livery by Gemini Jets. British Airways 747-400 in the Landor livery, Gemini Jets. JC Wings McDonnell Douglas MD-11 House livery. Air France A340-300 Gemini Jets. Delta A350-900 first release Gemini Jets. American 707-300 Gemini Jets. Swiss A330-200 by Gemini Jets. Qantas A380 Gemini Jets. British Airways 777-200ER Gemini Jets. American 747-100 by Gemini Jets. Antonov 124 Gemini. Delta 777-200ER Gemini. World MD-11 Gemini. FedEx MD-10 Gemini. Delta A330-200 by Gemini. Delta 747-400. I'm not sure what release this is, but the registration of this is, I believe, 668 Uniform Sierra. That's Gemini. KLM 787-9 by Gemini Jets. WestJet 767-300 by Gemini Jets. Alitalia 777-300ER by Gemini Jets. FedEx 777 Freighter by Gemini Jets. I think like 2014 release. Sun Country DC-10 by Gemini Jets. Lufthansa Cargo 777 Freighter Gemini. Egypt Air 707 by Gemini. This is my second one that I had because the first one I had was broken. Continental 737-900 Retro by NG. Alaska One World 739 by NG. JetBlue A320 I Heart New York by Gemini Jets. Zoom in a little bit. Kalitta Charters 727-200 by Gemini Jets. Alaska Honoring Those Who Serve 737-800 by NG. Alaska 737-900 by Gemini Jets, no winglets. Alaska A320 Gemini. Swoop 737-800 by NG. Alaska 737-700, Alaska Air Cargo rather, by Gemini Jets. Delta 757-200 Delta Flint livery by NG. American AirCal Heritage 738 by Gemini. JetBlue A320 tartan tail or plaid tail by Velocity Models. Kalitta Air 747-400 mask livery flaps down, Gemini Jets. KLM Orange Pride 777-300ER by Gemini Jets. Northwest World Plane 747-400 by Gemini Jets, the fifth one that they made. Delta A330-300 by NG. Delta 777-200 in the Delta Flaunt and Ron Allen livery. Both of these are Dragon Wings. Eastern A300 by Aeroclassics with Air Shuttle Plus stickers. Air Force C-17 by Gemini Max. This is McCord Air Force Base. JetBlue A321 Prism Tail by NG. 738 Astrojet of American Airlines by NG. WestJet 737-700 by Gemini. Luxair Q400 Gemini Jets. Eastern DC-8 Gemini. Pan Am 737-200 Gemini. Another tail-heavy one right there. Oops. British Airways A319 by Gemini. Eastern 720 by Aeroclassics. A319 by Gemini Jets of Alaska Airlines. America West A319 by Gemini. U.S. Airways Piedmont Heritage 319 by Gemini. TWA L1011 Twin Globes livery by NG. Lufthansa A330-300 by NG, or Gemini Jets, sorry. Royal Jordanian 787-8 by Gemini Jets. Turkish 7879 flaps down by Gemini Jets. Northwest 747-400 in the thermometer livery by JetX. Etihad Cargo 777 Freighter Interactive Series by Gemini Jets. Move back up here. American A319 with the Allegheny Heritage livery by Gemini Jets. American 737-800 One World livery by Gemini. And then the TWA Heritage livery as well. Frontier A321 by Gemini. US Airways A321 by Gemini. Air Ceylon Harker Siddeley Trident by Gemini. Reno Air Heritage American 738 by Gemini Jets. JetBlue A320 Vetsen Blue by Gemini. JetBlue A321neo Balloon's Tail, I believe that is. Yep, that's Balloon's Tail by Gemini. Empire Sun Country, Blue livery and Tide Pod livery. Both of these are NG. And then we'll move back over here. Frontier A320neo Mia the Dolphin by Gemini. This one's tail heavy, but for good reason. This one is also tail heavy. Frontier A320 Griswold the Bear by Gemini Jets. Hawaiian A321neo 2017 release by Gemini Jets. Virgin America A321neo Gemini Jets. WOW Air A321neo Gemini Jets. Aer Lingus A321neo Gemini Jets. JetBlue A320 High Rise Tail by Gemini Jets. Caribbean 737 MAX 8 by Gemini Jets, and that right there is actually the tail of my first ever model of FedEx 757. Condor A321 by Gemini Jets. And then my retro FSD stuff here, the new acquisitions. Western L188 Electra, DC6, both of these are Aeroclassics. North Central Convair 580 by Gemini Jets. America West CRJ 200 by Gemini Jets. Northwest Airlink Saab 340 by Gemini Jets. Delta DC 950 by Aeroclassics. Ozark DC 930 by Aeroclassics. Northwest DC 930 Bull and Shoe livery with a free fire truck from West Coast Diecast by Gemini Jets. United 737-300 Blue Tulip by Gemini Jets. And a Delta 737-200 widget livery by Gemini Jets. And that will do it for this full collection video. So nearing the 300 mark here as we move into 2023, the collection continues to grow once again. I'm very happy with where the collection is at. Obviously for Retro FSD, still need a good number of assets, and I may be willing to sell off some of these assets that I don't really need. Some of these wide bodies especially, I don't really use them all that much. So here's all the wide bodies over here again, if you want another look at them. So I don't know what I'll do with these just yet. I'm going to give it some thought before I proceed, but I think I may be willing to sell off a few of these as I don't really use them that much. So let me know what your preference is. So with that being said, that is the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.